I'm proud of you, Morty.
Hey man, I don't give a crap about myself, Rick. Let's watch some crazy stuff, yo!
Alright, welcome back. In today's video we are going to be doing a analysis on FSLR. I am making this video and a request from Doohoo, who commented on our video on ADA, on the live trade. So FSLR is under the NASDAQ index, okay? And, you know, related solar companies similar to FSLR are SEDG, JKS, and SPWR. Now in today's video we're going to be doing a somewhat of an in-depth analysis. We're going to make this quick, but basically by me just looking at this chart right here, FSLR looks bearish. Okay, it looks bearish, but at this point right here on the shorter time frames, what you can see is it kind of already hit its bottom for right now. So right now it's bullish, but what we had here is we had a point of higher highs, and what you had is you had bearish divergence. Every time you made a new high, you made a lower high on the RSI, and then you had lower buyers coming in on, you know, volume with each high. With each peak of the high before it dropped. So over here, what we have to know exactly how far it will drop is if you measure, you know, from the point of the mouth to the close, either or from the beginning or towards the middle, you can see that you can get an ideal target of where price will typically drop before it, you know, goes back up, and that was the point of it being that accurate. And how to know that, you know, that actually worked is we had a doji here. Right, and this doji showed that price would go up, and you can consider this a hammer, right? A hammer candle as well, right next to the doji. So, you know, that lets us know that for this short-term period, it can go higher. Now, when we look at the higher time frames, right, when we look on the daily chart is screaming bearish. It is screaming very bearish. And with each high, we have bearish divergence, right? So what happened here on the lower time frames, that happened, right? We had this short drop, but on the higher time frames, the same exact way of measurements and the same exact way of us looking at this chart is going to happen on the daily. Now, what's confusing is that the NASDAQ is bullish, right? We talked about the NASDAQ in our previous video on the 28th, I believe it was, where we predicted Amazon being bullish and the NASDAQ being bullish, and then on January 1st we made a video on the S&P 500 being bullish. So I mean, overall it's a bit confusing with the NASDAQ and the S&P because they are screaming bullish, but you know, they can still have drops. And another way to know is if the dollar is bullish. And the dollar right now, I mean, it's at a point of support. We went over the dollar a billion times. We have a bunch of bullish divergence. It can definitely go up, and then the markets will be bearish. So that's what we want to put into consideration, is we want to put as many factors in our favor to have the most accuracy in the probability of FSLR going to our favor. So I believe FSLR is bearish on the daily. Now, when we look on the weekly, we have the same exact thing. Now the weekly, when you see something as strong as the weekly showing the same exact result, that means that, you know, FSLR is bearish. So on FSLR, what we have here is, you know, on accumulation distribution, you have people selling off their shares. You have a cross on the MACD showing that it looks bullish, but that doesn't matter. Things can, you know, cross back down. And then you have volume. You know, you have a bunch of volume spikes, you know, trying to mislead, you know, beginner traders. But basically what you have here is you have the same exact thing. You have every time we made a higher high, we had bearish divergence. And on top of that, I mean, this one is a little bit harder to measure, but when we measure this, right, let's say we measure it like that, that's not really a good measurement. But I believe FSLR, the highest I think it can go is to $195. But, you know, if we measure it like this, which is going to give us a more accurate estimate of where things will drop, it'll show us that FSLR will drop down to 140. But if we do it a different way and we measure it like this, that will give us a price label of, when price breaks out, you know, 122. And, you know, that's not a coincidence that we do have a moving average over there. Now we're going to go on the monthly. You know, the monthly shows right here that we're coming up at a level of resistance, right? When you kind of go a lot further back in time. And then, you know, if we go down to price dropping at that moving average, which shows us at 122, and then our other target showing at 140, that kind of comes in between with our analysis here. So at 122, you have a level of strong support. Now trading stocks and trading FSLR is different than trading crypto. There's so many things that go on with trading options. So you want to be right in the time period that you get into the trade. Like how soon will it drop, right? Like if I get in right now, I would want it to drop right now. Like your timing is key in options, right? Because data and so many things can, even if you're right, you can still lose money. So FSLR looks very bearish to me. You have the same thing with, the daily. You will get a measurement of 115. Okay, 115. That is close to 120. So, I mean, and it's coming out this moving average. So I would say FSLR goes down to between 122 to 115. Now, of course, it's kind of hard because now the NASDAQ is bullish. And the S&P like we went over. But yeah, that is my analysis on the on FSLR. You have MACD divergence, right? I mean, there's so many things trying. This thing is getting ready for a drop. If we were to look for tomorrow, what would happen to FSLR tomorrow? What would happen tomorrow is I believe that FSLR is going to dump down to this level right over here, and it's going to use it as support. It's going to use 177 as support. If it breaks through that support, we're going to go down. But typically what happens with these type of patterns is it dumps and it will use this as support and it'll have another run up. So you kind of want to see a bearish divergence on the on FSLR on the intraday time frames to have a better entry. But again, with options it's a little different. But yeah, if you're looking for like a live trade or anything, you can use some of this analysis to make your own decisions. But that's the overall view on FSLR that I am currently seeing. Now I can be wrong, but I highly doubt it. I mean, with our type of analysis and our technical skills that we use to read charts, we're pretty accurate. So yeah, so I hope this video helps with an FSLR trade or FSLR analysis view on the solar companies. But if you guys like videos like this, if you guys have any more recommendations, please let me know so I can make more videos, and please share with your friends and family so we can help grow this channel. And yeah guys, take care, have a wonderful day.